Hello all, welcome to the network pen testing series at Pentester Academy. Now in this video, we will look at pen testing Windows endpoints and look at how we can run our binaries with escalation using two techniques. One is manifest files and the other is ShellExecuteEx. So why do we need this in the first place? Now, if you go through Windows UAC documentation, what you will actually find that admin is not really admin. And what I mean by that is even if you're logged in, or rather the victim is logged in to an admin account, most of the operations done by the victim would be done as a standard user with low privileges. Only when operations which require higher privileges are initiated, at that time Windows throws out the UAC prompt so that the admin knows that now he is about to do privileged operations. And only after that does he get really high privileges. Now let's go ahead and prove this. So I have my attacker machine here, and drawing from the last video, if you recall, where we created the shellcode launcher in the thread, I have this in here as well. Let me rebuild my solution. There we go. And here is the 64-bit binary. Now I'm going to go to the attacker machine and set up the payload handler. I'm going to set exit on session to false. Set exit function to thread. And now we are having our handler up and running. Now let me execute the program as I have done in the previous video without doing anything else but just clicking it. There we go, we've clicked it. If we go to the attacker machine, we'll actually find we have a meterpreter session, and if I connect to that session and do a get UID, you'll find I'm security tube, which is actually an admin account on the remote machine. Now if I do get privs though, you'll actually find that I hardly have any privileges, just the shutdown privilege, change notify, and undock. Come on, that isn't anything. So where is the problem? Well, at this point we are still running as a standard user even though I am logged in to an admin account. Let me first kill the shellcode launcher. Now if I go ahead and launch this as an admin, run as admin, we get the UAC. And now when I do the yes, if I go back, I have another meterpreter session. If you notice, I'm still the same user, but now if I do get privs, you will actually find I have a ton of privileges, right? Pretty much all the privs available to admin, right? Debug priv, security priv, blah blah blah, backup, restore, so many things. So you can clearly see that without basically doing this privilege escalation, the admin account is pretty much useless to us, right? Now there are a lot of UAC bypass examples which we've seen in previous videos, but in this video we will focus on how we can make a binary demand for escalated privileges when it runs the first time. Okay, so let's go back to Visual Studio. It's going to close shellcode launcher again. On the attacker machine, now as you can see we have no sessions left. Now, the first technique involves the use of what is called a manifest file, which is actually embedded in the resource section of most executables, which may have been combined by Visual Studio and maybe other compilers as well. Now, let's go ahead and analyze this manifest file using Resource Tuner, which we introduced in a previous video. So let's open up Shellcode Launcher. Now, if I click on the manifest, you will actually see that requested execution level you can see as invoker, right? This doesn't help. We need the highest privileges possible, and if possible, admin. So how do we do that? Well, we can modify this and basically request for highest privileges or as admin. Now, what I'm going to do is, rather than just modify this, let's also take up the case where the manifest file isn't present, right? So let me delete this manifest and save the binary. Now let me refresh the binary. You'll notice we don't have any manifest file. So I'm going to click add resource to it. And the resource type I'm going to select is manifest. Click OK. It asks you whether this is a theme manifest, a UAC manifest, or a compatibility one. We're just interested in the UAC manifest. Click next. Now, if you notice in the trust info section, it says as invoker, highest available, require administrator, right? You can do require administrator or highest available. Now it shows us the manifest file. When we hit finish, it goes ahead and adds it to the binary, which we can go ahead and ensure by hitting save. There we go. Now, when I run this binary this time, there you go. If you notice, it immediately tells us that we need high privs. So I can now click yes to that. Now if I go back to my attacker machine, I have a new Meterpreter session. And you will notice I have all the privs up front. Fantastic, right? So if you manage to have the user run a binary, make sure that it is a binary which can give you the highest privileges possible. Now there are other techniques as well which you can do programmatically when you want to launch an executable with higher privileges. Also note this little shield which now appears because now Windows tells us that this program requires high privileges. So let me just quickly rebuild solution. Maybe I can just remove the program from here so I can overwrite it on disk. Let me rebuild the solution again. Of course, the shield would disappear now, right? Now, if I want to escalate privileges, let me close this solution. And let me open ShellExecuteEx demo. Now, what this does is the program in turn executes another program and basically goes ahead and forces a run as so that we get prompted with the UAC. This is done with a Windows API called ShellExecuteEx. So you can go ahead, make this a release candidate. I can add Win64 to this. Then build the solution, go to the project page, copy the binary, take it to the shellcode launcher thread project, copy it here, and now let me run this. And there you go. If you notice, it is now launching shellcode launcher thread.exe with high privileges. If I click yes, you will once again get a new Meterpreter session. With high privs. There you go. Right. So you have both techniques available, and depending on the situation, you can select whichever one you would like. But keep in mind, it is very, very useful that you try to get as high a privileges as you can if you're able to run a binary. So that's all I had in mind for this video. As I mentioned in a previous video, you can download Resource Tuner. I think they have a 30-day free trial which you can use. Here is a screenshot and the link to the ShellExecuteEx documentation on MSDN in case you would like to use it programmatically. That's all for this video. If you've been enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, then please do recommend us to your friends and colleagues in the InfoSec community. Thank you.